Okay, well, this is like my first tutorial, so I already added another layer, and right now I'm lowering my opacity on the drawing that I'm going to be retracing and recoloring. So now I chose my layer that I'm going to be tracing on, and I'm making sure my brush is set to dip pen hard. My stabilizer that's coming up right now is on 10, and my method is on after. I usually start with the eyes. I don't know what my point is of the brush at the moment because like the screen is blocked, but I usually start with the eyes at about, I'm gonna guess 2.8. So right now I'm tracing the eyes and the eyebrows, and like, yeah, I don't think there's too much to say. There's like, it's more watching. I kind of feel like I'm talking to myself. But okay, so I'm tracing the eyes and the eyebrows, adding like little minor details here and there. I had to go like at this moment, so like it's kind of a long pause. I feel like I'm talking to myself, but it's so awkward. But anyways, so we're waiting for me to come back. I wonder if I could shorten this, like, because this is kind of weird. Or like speed it up. I need feedback. Cause yeah. Okay, so I just came back and now I'm tracing the eyebrow, the other eyebrow. And here I'm gonna add on the nose little like shadings, like right there. Make sure your lines are closed when you're retracing. Now I'm going to the nose, and right here I'm just following along with the original artist. Credits to them. I'm going to be adding little details of mine. Not too many, just not to let it seem that much, but you know. The next tutorial will be on coloring and cell shading and like all of that stuff. So here I'm just adding little points to the eyes. I don't know what for. I just thought they looked cool. And adding the little eye lines. I kept messing up, so like, yeah, I'm going so slow. I tried to be as fast as I could, but this video ended up being 21 minutes. Like, I accidentally messed up there, had to erase. First of all, I did the face. I always start with the face: eyes, eyebrows, nose, mouth. So right now I'm adding little like piercings by the nose. I don't know if I did that. To be honest, when the second part come out, I might erase it because I don't like it. Now I'm going to be tracing the mouth, keeping it in the same shape. If something is in the way that you don't want to trace right now, just go around it simply. And then when you go to another layer, you'll get there. So right now, I'm going to be, I believe I'm starting the face shape. Or the ears. Yeah, the ears. So I increased my line. I forgot what up to, but like probably 3 point something. I like to have my face thicker with thicker lines to make it pop more simply. So right now I'm going around the face, and right here the thumb is in the way, so I just made sure to go around that. Next I'm gonna go through the cigarette and continue up along the chin, up by the other ear. Once I do that, I start to complete the other ear, simply tracing it the way I did the first ear. Making sure to include minor details here and there. Oh my god, I'm gonna be talking for 21 minutes. My voice is horrible. But anyways, we got the face. So now I add another layer, check to see if it's what I like, and I was really impressed for me being like, for me tracing this. So now I had to go back to the first layer because I needed to trace the neck because I forgot. So now, what am I doing? I'm going back to the layer. This will be my hair layer. So I didn't know what design I was going for. I just went as I go, to be honest. I was just thinking as I go this whole time. Because honestly, I wasn't too sure if I was gonna do this or do that. So I went for a little simple spiky design, checking to see if I approve. When I make the second part, I have to go back and close up my lines because I did not do that with the hair. So I'm just making a little zigzag design, keeping it simple somewhat. Now here I'm checking the hairline to see if I like it. At first I was like nah, but then I was like no, screw it. So I just continued. Now I'm like contemplating on what the outside, like around the head, should look like. And then I'm just like, okay, what are we gonna do? And I was just thinking, trying to get inspiration. So I just like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna follow this, and then I didn't like that, so I erased it, and then I did it again. But then I was just like, I don't like that. So anyways, I just kept going. It was just like, you know what, suck it up. And I started drawing more hair, and that was ugly, so I erased it. And then I'm just looking at it like, is this what I want? So I was just like, okay, forget it, let's go. And then I started doing more hair. I wanted a big bang. I know that, like no frizzy short hair. I just wanted him to have a nice looking bang or something coming off from the top of his head down to the side. I thought that was really cool. I don't know why. if you're listening to this right now, my apologies, because I'm not a professional YouTuber or video recorder or whatever you want to call it. Right now, I was checking to see if it was good enough to like, basically if it looked good. So after that, I just continued making hair strands, trying to find a neat enough design. I was going for the overall spiky, but not trying to add too much, because too much could, if you add too much, it could basically overthrow how your drawing looks and make it look messy, and your line art isn't going to be clean. So as you see, I have a lot of lines crossing. I will go and fix that later, but right now I'm fixing the top of the head, adding little lines like that to show the strands of the hair and the way that the hair flows or go up into. At this point, I started to think like, oh, it actually looks pretty good. I don't know why I did it, but now I'm adding more hair strands to make it look kept, neat, amazing. Gosh, this is kind of embarrassing, but I'm checking it, and then I'm just like, oh wow, okay, so I needed to add more on this side, and that's exactly what I did. Anyways, how are you guys today? I don't know, I'm talking like I have an audience. There's not too much to say for this part. Okay, now on to the next layer. This layer is specifically for clothes. So right now I just decided to give him a simple hoodie design. I didn't want to do the same tee, like professional business shirt and all of that. So I just went for a basic hoodie design. I don't really know how to draw hoodies, so this is the part where I started messing up a lot. I was really confident at this point. I was just like, yeah, I got this. I'm about to ace this hoodie. It was looking good until I started to zoom out. So I'm just tracing, and then I looked at it and it was uneven. So at first I was just like, you know what, forget it. But then I erased it all. And then I was just like, no, I need to do it again, because guys' shoulders are broad as hell and stuff. Excuse my language. But I don't know why I'm doing this. I could have just wrote it, but that would take way more time. This video might have been 40 minutes long. It's already 21 minutes. And I don't know how long I've been talking at this moment. So anyways, I spent my time trying to work with the hoodie. I began to get impatient, because it was just like, ugh, why are you taking this long to get a hoodie right? A hoodie is so simple. So after a while, I started to get the design I wanted. I began proof checking it, and if you hear a lot of rustling, I'm just laying down and I'm trying to get comfortable. But finally, I got my hoodie design, so I moved on to the cuffs of the hoodie, if that's what you call them. Again, I didn't want to do the hands yet, so I simply just went around them or against them. God, I'm breathing into the mic like a madman. Anyways, I'm going along the lines. Luckily, the dude in the original picture had cuffs, so I was able to like use those as a design. Right now, I'm proof checking again to make sure it's all neat. So I did the next cuff, and at this point I was just like, you know what, I'm liking this. It may not be mine, but it's mine and I like it. So now I'm finishing up the design. I was happy with what I seen, and then I went to trace the hand on the original layer, on my original skin layer. So I put like all my skin on one layer, hair on another, and clothes on another. And if your drawing happens to have little items, for example, like the one I'm doing, the cigar and a lighter, I'd also do those on another layer. So right now I'm tracing the hands, adding those little lines. Those represents the shadows of the drawing, and I kind of like those. So at one point I forgot to do it at the neck, so I had to go back and finish it. I just hope this is so weird. So I'm adding little lines and going against the hands, and I'm just like, oh wow, these hands looks good. And I'm just like, I wish I could draw hands like that, but I can't. So like, this was actually good practice for me. Like, I was really proud of myself of how it turned out, especially the hair and especially the hair, because I only made the hair. I just traced everything else and added on. Oops, my bad. But I'm sorry, I'm just so awkward. I never did this before. And right now I'm just tracing and tracing. I'm looking at it like, what's wrong with his knuckles? And it's just like, he doesn't have any, but he does. It looks so bland, but I didn't want to like mess it up, so I didn't do nothing to it. And every line I see, I just added little lines to make sure that it look appropriate. And right here, I'm just finishing up the hand. And then I'm just like, this dude has long fingers, and they're so muscular, especially for a guy. That's where I messed up. Make sure your lines are at least decent. They don't have to be completely straight. I'm proof checking right here. Lines aren't going to be completely straight, but don't make them look all bouncy and uneven. So I'm continuing doing the hands, and I noticed a little black part in the shadow, so I'm like, oh, okay, I want to go back and do that to any other things. So I continue tracing the hand, and then it's just like, oh my god, these knuckles are so bony knuckles, like. But I kept messing up for a while because I was just like, okay, this video is gonna be so long, I don't want it to be long. And then like I'm just continuing. Really, I don't know what much to say. Like, there isn't a lot to say because you're literally watching, and I don't know if I should be talking because it's awkward. I don't even know if I should put music over this. It's gonna be weird. It's like upbeat music. I don't have music on my phone like that, but because I don't want to pay for iTunes. Yeah, I'm gonna add music. Again, go around items that you don't want to trace yet, such as the lighter. At that point, it looked really difficult, so like later on, it may look like I have messed up, and I probably did and just left it. And at that point, I completed most of the hand. Yes, I completed the hand. And then I realized, wait, I'm drawing on the wrong layer for clothes. So I go back, and then I start, like I said, with the shadows, I start doing it with the neck. Not too many, not too little. I'm probably gonna erase that because I didn't really like it, but I did the same thing. And then I'm proof checking, and I'm just like, okay. So I checked again, just in case. You always should proof check your drawings. So I go back, and then I fix the collar, the shoulder, I don't know what to call it, of the jacket. Excuse me. And the hoodie, because I didn't like it, and it looked really bulky. At this point, it was quick, but the eraser tool, if you're using dip pen hard, use the dip pen hard eraser so your texture can stay the same. If you don't, it's gonna look really like jagged, no jagged lines. So I'm just like, for the most part, it looks done. That's when I add my 5th layer, so I could start working on the cigar and the lighter. Why did I say cigar? I could have said cigarette. But I had to go back on the skin layer and add this line for the chin or the bottom lip, I don't know. Please note, when I do the second part of this tutorial, I don't know how to color fire, so it may look wompy. And hopefully the coloring tutorial won't be this long. So right now I'm trying to get a straight line on the cigarette. Not completely straight, but like at least decent. At this point I thought I could just ravel around without it being weird, but that wasn't the case, so I had to fix up the cigarette and stuff. So after getting a decent circle-like shape at the bottom, Jesus, I can't talk. Sorry for my sniffling and moving and stuff, but I'm trying to get a decent like circle shape, and that's when I started adding like a little grassy type whatever in the cigarette, and I'm doing the same for up here, trying to get that circle round shape. And at that point I was happy with it, so this is where I start tracing a flame. And again, I'm not good with flames, so when I do show the coloring tutorial, don't get at me. I don't know how to color fire. I might just leave it blank but show you cell shading. It's the easiest way of shading. So right now I'm going along and doing the lighter, and this video is about to end soon because someone decided to call me, and I don't know who, but it ended the recording right when I finished, luckily. So I didn't have to merge anything because I don't know how. So basically I'm adding little details on the lighter, going back through, adding little shadows where I think there are shadows, and then I go and proof check, and I like it. Right here I began merging all the layers now, and this is where the call ends, so yeah. Thank you.